Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Gary Smith and welcome to the Storm Count. And boy, today has been an absolute shocker. Yes, we've had the announcements regarding the Pro Tours and tournaments coming up and how like the Magic 25 Pro Tour for the core set next year is going to be a team-based Pro Tour, 3-player teams, blah 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 blah, all of that's good news. However, the real big news today is the craziness that is two pictures of spoilers from Ixalan. It seems that someone out there really wants to lose their job because they have leaked a photo. They have taken, or two photos, of a foil sheet of Ixalan rares and mythics, and boy, there's a lot of digest here. Basically, given how big the foil sheet is and all the different cards on it, it's really hard to imagine that this is fake. And given how people have already talked about how they've told Wizards about this, it's quite likely this is real. So what are the big highlights here? Well, one of the big huge highlights is pirates. Obviously, we knew that from the announcement earlier this week are going to be a big thing, including a legendary pirate. But I mean, if you've wanted pirate EDH, you're probably going to get enough pirates in this block to do so, because we're probably getting multiple legendary pirates. The first key one we see here is a mono red legendary pirate called Captain Lianary Storm. 2 in a red for a 2/2 legendary creature human pirate with haste, and whenever he attacks, you get a colorless treasure artifact token with tap, sacrifice this artifact, and add 1 mana of any color to your pool. And whenever you sacrifice a treasure, Captain Lianary Storm gets a +1/+0 until end of turn. Oh boy, that's a 3 mana creature with haste that when it attacks ramps you for 1. That's pretty good, even if it is legendary. Another big thing to pick up is the rare cycle of lands. At least 5 of the lands we know of are going to be the allied check lands. So these are some Petal Grove and that cycle. For those of you who don't know, that is they enter tapped unless you control a forest or a plains, or you control one of the 2 land types, which work really well with the allied dual land type lands, the cycle lands from Amonkhet block. So allied colours are going to be very happy for those lands in Ixalan, so that's good news coming up. Let's see what else we got. Oh yes, hate enchantment for 1 and a white at rare. It says players can't cast spells from graveyards or activate abilities of cards in graveyards, and whenever a creature dies you gain 1 life, so it's a bit of graveyard hate there finally. We've got 1 in a blue for a something rare, which whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. And it has for 2 and a blue, you can make it so it can't be blocked this turn. For this to be rare, it probably has to be something like a 3/3 for 2. In which case I can understand why that's a rare. It also looks like this set is incredibly tribal based, because we have a lot of different cards here that, well, a few different cards here that give bonuses based on tribes. For example, Arcane Adaptation. 2 and a blue for an enchantment that says, as Arcane Adaptation enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to the other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield, which people are saying this is a copy of a cheaper version of a card from, I believe, the Siege of Mirrodin block, or the new Phyrexia bit. So that's very interesting. We've got Vanquisher's Banner that as it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control get +1 of that chosen type, get +1/+1, and whenever you cast a creature of the chosen type, draw a card. We also have a really good blue card. I can't really tell the card type of at the moment, but it's 4 blue. Draw target player, draw 7 cards. This seems to be what it is. We also have a form of a hate card, something like Pithing Needle here. Sorcerer's Spyglass, 2 mana for 2 generic mana for an artifact that says, as it enters the battlefield, look at opponent's hand, then choose a card. Choose any card name. Activated abilities of sources of the chosen card name or chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. This is really powerful as a card because it allows you to. In fact, I'd arguably say say that in Standard this is better than Pithing Needle. Most of the time you don't want to cast Pithing Needle turn 1 anyway, and the fact that this allows you to see what they've got in hand so you can actually name something correctly is pretty huge. I remember in Return to Ravnica block having, in my Mono Blue Devotion deck, having Pithing Needle on the sideboard for against the control decks to try and name Aetherling. And there was at least one deck where it was like Mono Blue, side it in, they beat me, or they were blue something control deck, they beat me game 1 with Aetherling. So I go turn 1, play Pithing Needle, name Aetherling, and they just kill me with Ashiok milling me out. So that was a legitimate thing. But the big thing here is on both of these image which you should be seeing maybe back and forth alternating on this video, is there is a Jace Planeswalker that appears on both images. You can see it, and it seems to be Jace Planar Outcast or Cast Out, which seems to be he's like, or Castaway, so it looks like he's like stuck on Ixalan after the fight on Amonkhet, sorry, against Nicobolus. But the big thing about him is the ultimate that we can just about make out says you create a copy that doesn't die. Like, you create a copy, you don't have to choose whichever one. But the other big thing is, if you look at his blah 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 Planeswalker, it says blah blah Planeswalker Jace. And looking at it, it almost looks like it says Legendary Planeswalker Jace. So it looks like, and a big rule spoiler, it looks like they're changing the rules to make Planeswalkers legendary permanents, and it does indeed seem that target player draws 7 cards is a sorcery. No, wait, that can't be right. Does that say sorcery or an instant? I can't tell. I really can't tell if that says sorcery or instant. It looks like it could say sorcery, but it also looks like it could say instant. Another thing to highlight here is there is another vehicle. There's an artifact vehicle right next to the 7 mana sorcery on the kind of more wide angle shot. So yeah, Ixalan spoilers. We've got also a mono green Merfolk. We also have a legendary creature Merfolk Shaman who is looking like it's blue green, which looks pretty awesome. What else have we got there? Vampire, a mono white Vampire Cleric. Bishop of Rebirth. Oh, and another great one is Hostage Taker, is 2 blue-black for a 2/3 human pirate. With when it enters the battlefield, exile target artifact or creature until it leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as if it was any colour to cast that spell. Now, the big interesting thing here is it says target artifact or permanent, so you can exile your own stuff with this guy if you really wanted to for some reason. Maybe you want to play this and then Wrath to keep the thing you exiled safe. But the other big thing is this guy goes infinite on his own. If there is no other target, or theoretically you can choose to target it itself and just keep flickering it back and forth on the board. Why is this relevant? Well, not so relevant in Standard, though we haven't seen everything else, so it could be another infinite combo. Plus, there is Ninth Bridge Control, which is a white creature that says whenever I think either a creature or permanent leaves the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it, so turn 4 you could just kill them with that, if they've not done anything else. But the big thing is I just really like this card as a flavour perspective. I just like the idea of taking their thing and then casting it if the guy survives. Major limited bomb at least. But oh boy, there's some crazy stuff in this Ixalan spoiler season. Yeah, some amazing stuff, including a 4 mana exile, Vraska's something, 2 black, instant, exile target creature or planeswalker, you gain 2 life. So it's like a hero's downfall, except costs 1 more to exile it, which isn't too bad, and goes really well with cards like Torrential Gearhulk, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, overall, this is a pretty exciting set, looks like it. And there's a Sphinx Pirate? Wow, there's a Sphinx Pirate with... no. Fairy? Sphinx? It's something pirate. I think it says fairy. It has flash and flying. And it can only block creatures with flying. And when it enters the battlefield, if you control another pirate, tap up to 2 target non-land permanents, which is pretty huge in like a blue-black pirates deck, which I think is going to be a thing looking at it. We're also going to have red pirates, maybe Grixis pirates, who knows. But yeah, this is some heavy stuff. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I am also really sorry about this for Wizards. Um, Also, dinosaurs on this sheet as well. I'm on a white dinosaur, which looks pretty good. Um, but yeah, I am really sorry for Wizards because this is a lot of cards that have been spoiled early, including the whole legendary Planeswalker Jace. So I'm very sorry about that, Wizards. Nothing we can do about that, I'm afraid. But yeah, great spoilers, and hopefully tomorrow we're going to have some bunch of Hour of Devastation spoilers. So keep tuned, and I'll see you next time.